Welcome and thank you for tuning in to Cryptids, Creeps and Conspiracy. The following content may involve explicit language and materials, so listener discretion is advised. This episode contains extremely graphic details regarding sexual assault and brutal murders. If you are sensitive to this topic, please skip this episode.
Welcome back, everyone. Today we have, oh my gosh, it has been a hot minute, and I have missed you dearly. I've been stalking you, this whole time.
Oh, same.
But
vice versa.
But this is Lanea from Getting High with True Crimes.
We are going to jump right back in where we left off. Check out last week's episode to get caught up.
While on a bike ride behind Indiana Sugars, he spotted a woman, again, just walking by herself. That's it. Her only crime was walking by herself. After passing her, he ditched the bike, sprinted through a shortcut along some railroad tracks, and appeared in front of her, struggling to catch his breath.
Whoa.
And as she passed, he was asking where she was going. And
for me as a woman, I would instantly be like, no.
None of your damn business, mofo. This is why I carry a weapon in my bag.
The little voice would be going, run.
Yeah. I've got razor blades. I've got gun. I've got it all. I got it all. And she instantly knew something wasn't right, which most of us women would know. Yeah, I'm in a dark secluded area. Like, why are you asking? This dude probably looks like a creep because remember, he's been in prison for a long time.
Yep.
But before she could even respond to his question, he again grabbed her by the neck like all the other victims and pulled her off the road and started beating the snot out of her. Even while withstanding a brutal beating, the woman refused to give the monster her panties, which is what he demanded. He just wanted her panties.
Oh, boy.
I'm assuming as a souvenir.
Is he going to wear those too?
Because she kept refusing, he just got more enraged.
Yeah.
Suddenly, the advice that his prison pals gave him popped in his head. Leave no witnesses. And he decided he needed to kill her. And he took his big, large hands, wrapped them around her neck until she was unconscious. Then he assaulted her, leaving the panties that she worked so hard to keep. Ugh.
Oh, boy.
Now, in the middle of this horrifying event, the woman, again, was only unconscious. He started to come to. He allowed her to give that she would know what was happening. But the woman made a critical mistake in his mind and looked him in the face.
Oh, shit.
Instantly, he choked the woman to death to conceal his identity. He then carried the woman and her clothes to a more secluded spot where he then assaulted her corpse.
Ew.
Before returning to his bike and riding to work like nothing ever happened.
Oh, my God. Gross. Ugh.
Yeah, this is rough. Like I said, I was a little too thorough.
No, but that's one thing. Like we've covered things like that where people have violated deceased bodies, and I'm just like, to this day, I'm like, I don't understand what goes through your head to be able to do that.
It is a final screw you to the victim. Yeah. It is a control situation. That's all I can think of.
But you're sticking your parts in something that's dead. Oh my God.
I don't know how to say this without sounding insensitive. Sometimes when they're alive, they still seem like they're dead.
That's fair. Nope.
And it's not like she was a badly decomposed body. He had just murdered her. She's not saying that's okay. I'm just saying from a viewpoint of somebody who's, and again, he is already mentally not at the capacity of average people.
That's fair.
And this victim wasn't found until December of 1995 and was identified as 41-year-old Maxine Walker. She was located in a patch of swamp off Martin Luther King Drive. It happened in the spring. She wasn't found until December.
That's some serious time gone by.
Ugh. Anyway, again, spring. Now in May of 1995, okay, this is going to get real rough. If you don't do the kid thing and you're okay with everything else, please evacuate. A 13-year-old girl who is still yet to be identified was grabbed by the neck, pulled under the I-80 flyover bridge between Central Avenue and Clay Street in Lake Station, Indiana, and was assaulted. She was not murdered. Not sure that's a good thing. It's a good thing that she wasn't murdered, but again, sometimes it's harder to cope than to just let it go.
Yeah.
But she managed to I don't know why she got away. I don't know if he let her get away. It doesn't say. It just said that she was able to report it. And on May 9th, again, it's May, spring, May. These are all hidden. Arlinda Lois Smith, age 46. Her body was discovered completely nude by some local school kids.
Oh, God, that's
She was
traumatizing.
Yeah, she was face up and had been savagely beaten with a blunt object. And she also had extensive neck injuries. I don't think that they were able to 100% put them together, but they did have a lot of similarities.
It's very possible that he was involved.
Yeah. This is like really making me want to puke. And we still got a little bit to go. Just breathe, guys.
Breathe through it.
Yeah. On May 16th, 1995, again, a week later, a body was found in a wooded area in Gary's Miller neighborhood. The body was identified as 34-year-old Sarah Catherine Snellgrove Harrington. Ooh. She again was laying on her back in some brush when a passing motorist happened to see her and call the police. There were no apparent signs of foul play, and investigators hoped the toxicology report would show the cause of death, but they did not give an update.
Oh, okay.
And I'm still stuck on the school kids. Can you imagine walking home or you're just going to play some ball and you stumble across a nude corpse?
Like a dead body, let alone one in that state. My God.
Yeah.
Ugh. Those poor kids.
Then on June 12th, same year, 14-year-old Nikita Moore was reported missing by her mother. Now we're going to skip ahead, but remember, June, Nikita, teenager, missing. Okay. June 24th, here we go. The young girl, we have June 12th, June 24th, young girl was found in a field off the 2000 block of West 15th Avenue, partially decomposed. Upon discovery, they found out that it was Nikita.
Yeah.
And she was nude with the exception of one sock.
Oh, boy.
All that was left. Her clothing was later located on the top of an abandoned building that was just adjacent to the lot they found her in. And they later determined she had been strangled.
Did he go up there with her stuff just to look at her from a different vantage point?
I'm wondering if, because again, there's a couple week gap. Maybe he did it and again returned to the scene, but from a different vantage point. People weren't suspicious.
And just to revisit the body.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That was the end of June. Now, mid-July, on the 17th, same year, 1995, Deborah McHenry was last seen by friends and family between the hours of 8 and 10 p.m. The next day, her body was discovered, again, face up, in some weeds behind a garage in an alleyway on the 2900 block of West 21st. The previous girl was on the 2000 block of West 15th. She was on the 29th block of 21st. Again, nude from the waist down. Deborah had suffered head and neck injuries, and there was evidence that she had been vilely beaten and choked.
Well, he has a style that he has.
Yes. The same day, This was also the last day that a woman by the name of Tanya Dunlap was seen by her family in Hammond, Indiana.
He's like really escalating.
Fast, too. He's going fast.
Yeah.
These are like 10 days max.
Yeah.
God, this is like really making me vomit. August 7th, same year, 15-year-old Jonas A. White, also called China,
Mhm.
was reported missing, and it was her birthday.
Oh boy.
They also reported that she was known to have a learning disability. She was last seen, oh my God. Okay. She was last seen riding her purple and pink bicycle only 30 minutes after blowing out her birthday candles.
Oh shit.
Probably a bike she got for her birthday.
More than likely. Oh my God.
On August 8th, her brothers found her body 2 miles west of their home while participating in an organized search.
That's
She was found on her stomach, nude from the waist down, and had been brutally beaten in the head and strangled. There was evidence of multiple skull fractures, and her underwear, contained traces of DNA. And her murder got the FBI involved because they believe she had been murdered on the Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore, which was actually federal property.
oh boy.
Unfortunate for her, but at least on the location was able to get the attention of another jurisdiction that was more equipped to handle the search.
Yeah.
That was the 8th. On August 13th, again, a week later, 27-year-old sex worker Michelle, which I don't know, what do they call those? Hold on, there's another word I'm supposed to use here. Whatever. Sorry, guys, I can't remember the word I'm supposed to use. Anyway, Michelle Lynette Burns was discovered. She had been strangled to death in a vacant lot by 2019 Broadway. Now, what I thought was interesting. She was dressed in Levi jean shorts, a black and white t-shirt, and a pair of aqua Reebok sneakers. I don't know if this correlates. This one does not match any of his criteria. She was dressed. She was a working girl. She was there. It doesn't say anything about strangle or choke or
It just
it's just somebody who just happened to show up. I don't know if this for sure was pinned to him. I just thought it was interesting to point out that it did show up.
Yeah.
August 22nd, same year, 1995. Oh, this is good work.
Oh.
Okay. 8-year-old
Oh fuck.
Sarah Lynn Paulson was seen riding her bicycle in a church parking lot. An hour later, her lifeless body was found under a nearby pine tree in a wooded area by a citizen walking her dog. She was found nude, lying face down, and she had been violated and strangled.
It seems like the younger they are, they find them face down. And if they're face down.
Which might have something to do with maybe there was a sliver of guilt.
Maybe.
Or something, maybe. He couldn't look him in the eye or whatever. I don't know. I either way, but yeah, that is a good point. I did not notice that going through this, that the direction was different.
Yeah.
Okay. September 1st, 51-year-old Betty Jean Askew's body was discovered by her brother in an abandoned lot. She was already decomposed 2 lots north of her home, which is the 500 block of Harrison Street. Her clothes had been scattered all around her, and her bra was pulled over her head. This kind of is the same with him. She's older. She's found a certain way. She's nude, except the bra. And then, but that's all I have on that count. November 8th, police discovered the skeletal remains of Tanya Deans Dunlap, that I mentioned previously.
Yep.
Age 24. She was behind a former Humane Society building at 6800 Milton Road. When the family reports her missing, they are informed that Eugene had confessed to killing her the day before.
Oh, Jesus.
Yes. Between the months of May and September of 1995, more than a dozen girls and women were strangled, raped, and left for dead.
And
So
it
they
doesn't have an
also
exact
pointed
type. Like, they're all over the map.
exactly. Now hold on. They are all over the map, but it does say most of the victims were African American females.
Okay, there's some sort
They
of
were left in overgrown alleys, wooded areas, parking lots, and fields. They were all left in similar locations where people don't normally go.
Yeah, that's true.
They all suffered, most of them suffered strangulation, all the same type of fate. Now, to true crime enthusiasts, this just reeks of a potential serial killer.
You'd think.
We all know. If you're listening
Yeah.
to this and you listen to true crime, yeah. However, the Gary police royally screwed the pooch, and along with Mayor Barnes, shot down any suggestion stating there was no direct evidence to lead back to one singular suspect.
But there is. There is.
They were, I think, they were sweeping that crap under the rug.
Yeah, I mean, nobody wants to admit you might have a serial killer in your town or city. Because then it puts fear in people, and people don't put
Oh,
faith
there you go.
in
Sorry,
their...
like cut out for a second. Whoa,
Oh.
you just got weird.
Yeah, it lagged there for a sec. But yeah, they're probably doing it because they don't want people to think that A, they're not doing their job, or B, that there's something like this in their town.
Exactly. But not only that, they don't want to know anybody to know about it. The police department was undergoing already severe scrutiny. They were understaffed and overworked because they were having a bunch of gang shootings. They were focused on these gang shootings and wrapped up that all these other bodies dropping just went under the radar.
Yeah, gets swept under, forgotten. Yeah.
Yeah. And normally I don't believe in all that malarkey, but it was so bad at this time that the National Guard was called in to help them deal with the gang shootings.
Wow, that's bad.
Here, hold on.
I think your ghosties are messing with your shit. Because every now and then your camera tries to refocus.
Somebody in here's not happy. I turned my box off. They can't talk to me. They're probably upset.
That might be it. Because, yeah, for the last while, your camera's been trying to refocus every now and then, too.
Really? Okay, mine looks clear on my end. So that's definitely something messing with me because they like to mess with my camera.
Yeah, no, it's been happening fairly often, actually. And more since you turned off the box. But yeah,
maybe
that makes
might
sense.
turn it.
Just turn it back on. Just turn the volume down. Oh, I heard you for a second.
Yeah, you look like the Mona Lisa.
Oh, what?
I totally took a screenshot of that. The way you froze, you look like mother effing Mona Lisa. Hold on.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I'll show it to you. Wait, hold on.
Yep, you're right.
Okay. Oh, my thing just went off.
Oh, did it?
My K2 meter.
Oh,
All right, I'll turn the box on. I'll turn the box on. Fine.
I want to be a part of this, apparently. Maybe they have opinions.
Oh, they probably do. I'm saving this for the desktop.
Yep.
All right. Dude, okay. But yeah, things were getting crazy and out of hand that they brought in the National Guard with the shootings. They definitely had their hands full. Just let's look closely. There we go. I turned the volume off. Now it's back on.
There we go.
Now, Eugene made some critical mistakes when murdering Sarah Paulson, that I mentioned previously, the little girl that was on the certain land.
Yep.
He was unaware at the time that there were eyewitnesses that saw him lead the little girl into the woods.
Oh, yeah, that's a issue.
Devil visitor. Okay. That explains the weird internet thing.
Yep.
He was also still wearing his obvious green work uniform since he had just been fired from parties that same day. He got
Okay.
fired from his job, left wearing his uniform, and took it on this poor girl because he got fired.
See, this is where if me and Melissa were talking about this, she would be like, "Oh my God." And I would be like, "If you're going to kill people, don't be obvious about it. Like, you fucked up, but don't
Exactly.
kill people."
Yeah. My thing is, he got fired and he took it out on the first person he found, and it was a little girl riding her freaking bike
That's fucked up.
in the parking lot of a church
Ugh.
where you nightmare. Thank you. Yes. Where you
Yeah.
are made to feel safe, right? That is a
Yeah.
safe zone. You are taught that is a good place. And that church had probably been there forever. Think about it. And the parents were
Mhm.
probably like, oh, it's fine. We're just in the church. Go ride your bike in the parking lot. Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Something just growing up until I was probably 12 or 13, from 7 to 13. Like I was her age. Okay. I lived in a house. You have a normal, I say city block. It's not even a city block. It's like a little small town block, right? You could stand on
Yep.
one end of the block and you could see the other end.
Yeah.
I was right next to a church. There was the church. There was a church center with a playground. They had a daycare there, and they had a big paved parking lot.
Yeah.
And I would ride. We weren't allowed to leave the block, but my mom felt the block was safe. I
Yeah.
would ride my bike down the sidewalk and ride it and rollerblade in that church parking lot.
It's a big open area. It's right next to your house. It feels like a safe place. Makes sense.
It's the fact that I just realized that I was in the same exact position as this girl.
Yeah.
And she just got snatched.
It just goes to prove
That could have
anything
been
can
me.
happen. It can happen to anyone at any time.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
They reached out to the Gary police to inform them, hey, this guy in this green shirt was leading this girl into the woods, blah, blah, blah. And they decided he needed to be put under surveillance. Finally.
Okay.
However, this is a little difficult because Eugene was technically homeless.
Oh. Yes. How do you pin down a homeless dude?
Exactly. Now, we are getting pretty close to the end. I know this is like a bunch of stuff. It's not very long and drawn out on the end. It literally just kind of like swoops right up and then ties in a bow, and that's it. On November 4th, Portage and Gary PD raided the church Eugene was staying in.
Oh.
He obviously has no respect for died. Yeah, thank you. He snatches a girl from a church, but then he uses another church to get housing.
Yeah.
They took him in. Yeah. Okay. And it was ironically on his 38th birthday. Just like that poor girl on her birthday.
Yeah.
He was charged with the assault and murder of Sarah. Police would never have caught her or caught him if it wasn't for the fact that she was brave in her last moments. She had grabbed his shirt, and the fibers caught under her fingernails later matched Eugene's uniform. Later, the DNA, once it was a thing,
Yeah.
sealed the deal. This brave 8-year-old girl did everything she could. And that is the reason she got this man off the street.
That's amazing. At least she didn't die in vain. Something came from it that was positive in all of this
And
bullshit.
oh, I literally have cold chills. Now, listeners, you're about to get irate, okay?
Oh no.
Eugene was able to evade the death penalty due to his exceptionally low IQ and mental disability. He
Oh,
pled guilty
fuck.
to all charges and was sentenced to 245 years in prison. They let him live.
Ugh.
Now, granted, if you're on death row, yeah, right, law. If you're on death row, you're typically, people on death row sometimes live longer than regular inmates.
That is true.
So there's that.
Because the death row process is such a long process.
But my thing too is, I thought it was interesting. He didn't get the death penalty because of his IQ and his mental disability, but he was also sentenced to prison, and it doesn't say mental institution.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But yeah, that is Eugene Britt.
At least he got caught.
Yeah.
But oh my God. Like he was just all over the map. Anybody was fair game. It wasn't even like he had
Yeah.
a specific
We had
type.
mid 50s, early 50s, late 40s, which is all the same. But then you have early 20s, you have teenagers, you have a child.
Children.
Even the teenagers are children, but I mean, like a babe, like a little baby. And I just, I mean, I wish they would have done it sooner. Fate had its own path, but he didn't realize there were witnesses. Witnesses said this shirt, this green, obvious shirt. Yeah. And that girl scratching her way trying to get out got those green fibers in her nails along with his DNA.
Yeah.
If it was just the green shirt,
it might
they wouldn't have had a suspect.
No.
Without that witness, her evidence was useless.
Yeah, because like even if the
failure,
green
yes.
fibers, it could have been anybody.
Any Hardee's employee. Yep.
Yeah, it could have been there. It would have.
They wouldn't even have known it was Hardee's. It would have just been any dude, any person in a green shirt.
Yeah, in a green, I'm assuming work type quality shirt.
The thing is, they wouldn't have known.
That's
if
true.
It was just her evidence, it would just something fiber. It could have been pants, shirt, socks, whatever.
Yeah.
Carpet. You know, it would have just something green. It was all they had to go off of. And even with the DNA evidence, had they not had those witnesses be there at that exact time, they would not have known to get his DNA. They would not have followed him. They would not have gotten a DNA sample to compare it to. They would not have questioned him because he was a ghost.
That's why I always say, if you think you see something and it doesn't feel right to you, say something. Because you just never know.
Again, website, the Crime Stoppers website. Oh, look at that.
Oh, yep.
Oh, and my camera just went weird.
Yeah, it did.
But it's still going. Okay, EMF is going nutso. And there is nothing electrical over there. There's literally just an open room behind that wall.
And if there was, it would be going off the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Not just for...
So, I have the Crime Stoppers number on the site. Also, I do have a TeePublic site for t-shirts as well. And I actually made a t-shirt. Now, it's not vague. I tried to make it to get your attention.
Yeah.
It's a milk carton with a silhouette of a person. And I think it's something like see something, say something. And it's got the number on it.
Nice.
I made that design in a t-shirt just in case anybody wanted to have it out there. Because not everybody thinks about it. Some people are like, what do I say? Who do I call? What do I do? Call, even if it is a nationwide thing, they will get the information where it needs to go.
Exactly.
Uncertain, but it's spelled wrong.
Okay.
That's funny. But yeah, definitely, even if you don't see, you might see something and you're like, it doesn't, You don't think that it's weird, but your gut is telling you. How many times have you heard stories about someone's pumping gas at a gas station, or they're working at their teller at a gas station or a grocery store or a diner,
Yeah.
and an adult and a child come in. The child doesn't say anything. They don't act like anything's wrong. Neither does the adult. And then later on, they find out that child was kidnapped. And
we covered one like that, the Gorini family massacre, and that exact thing happened.
yep. And you never know, right? You never know. It might be a well-behaved kid, but it might not be.
Exactly. They might not have that option. Like with that, for me, with like my ex-husband, we actually had a moment like that once where it was late in the evening. We lived in an apartment. There's an apartment across the street, and we heard yelling, and it was like men yelling, and you heard what sounded like crashing noise, and we're like, that's weird. So we look. I was looking out the bathroom window. I couldn't see anything from there. My ex was looking out the bedroom window, and he happened to see 3 guys run from this building, get in a vehicle, and take off. And we're like, oh, just whatever. Didn't think much of it, but it was enough that you remembered details, right?
Yeah.
And you're not sure why you're remembering details, but you are. And then I think it was like 2 in the morning, and I woke up because I could hear multiple vehicles running, because it's like wintertime here. If you're going to be using your vehicle, you start it. And I'm like, that's weird to hear so many. And I look out, and it's a cop car, and they're taping off that whole apartment building. And I woke up my ex, and I'm like, you need to go down there and talk to them, because he had seen some basic description of the vehicle and the people. They killed a guy. They killed a guy in that apartment and fled.
Oh,
yeah. And it turned out one of them had gotten stabbed in the process, and he ended up actually dying in the car, and they had just ditched it. And it was this whole thing. But yeah, it was like, you see something, it seems off. Don't just blow it off.
be
Let
aware.
somebody know. Yeah. Let somebody know.
And make a note. Like, I've had something where I'm like, okay, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to. Are you scared? No, but I'm picking my jaw up off the floor.
Yeah.
Where I've written stuff down because I'm like, I don't know. Do I call? Should I not call? Who do I call? What's going on?
Yeah.
I've had a situation where I watched a man stumbling. Jerry, I watched a man come out of a gas station across from my work, and he's stumbling, totally incoherent, right? It just, he was out of it. He looked like he was high as shit or something. I don't know. And I'm working with 2 men. And yes, I was sitting in a chair, and I was undecided, and they're just kind of looking, and I immediately perk up, right? I'm like, something's not right. Something's not right. And he's stumbling around, and this truck pulls up, and this man got out and got this gentleman, and he was acting like he was pulling. He did not want to go with this guy. I don't know if he didn't recognize. I don't know, but he was acting like, I do not want to go with this guy. This guy's not with it. And another man got out and was grabbing him and pulling him towards his truck. And they're like forcing him, like he's hunkered down, trying to get away from these men. And the 2 guys I'm with are just watching. I'm immediately like, fuck this. I have dispatch on my phone. It's not the 911, but I'm calling like local dispatch.
Yeah.
Straight out the gate. I'm like, hey, something's going on right now. Here's what's happening. I'm like, this guy's wearing this shirt. The 2 gentlemen with him are wearing this colored shirt, these pants, blah, blah, blah. They look to be middle-aged. One's wearing a hat. I am like getting details, right? And the police station's only a few blocks from where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm telling him, I was like, he does not want to get in this car. He does not want to get in this car. I was like, I don't know what to do. It's like, I'm not going to go get in between 2 grown men.
No.
That are trying to get another grown man into a truck. They get the guy up, they get him in the truck. And I'm walking, Bob again, and I'm walking towards the road. I'm not getting close enough. I'm close enough to see, but not close enough to interact. And I'm like, here's the vehicle. It's a lady of the night. Did you just call me a prostitute? That was rude. I literally got Bob Iron, short, lady of the night. I am also short, but I am not a lady of the night. Thank you. But that was rude. But anyways, I'm like calling. I'm like, this is the make, the model, the number. Hold on a second. They're like, what? I'm like, hold on a second, because they were pulling out. And I'm like, license plate, blah, 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 blah. And like, I'm telling you, I was like, they're turning left out of this road. They're going down this road. They're heading this direction. I'm not following them, but I just lost sight. Like, I am giving them play by play
Yeah.
because I didn't know.
Well, yeah, it could have been something where it's two dudes trying to pick up their really drunk friend, or it could have
Come to
been
find-
two dudes kidnapping somebody.
Exactly. Come to find out, the guy came in. I went after this guy left with these people in this truck. The one guy left in a truck. And then I was like, there's another guy that just got in his car. Here's the make, model, blah, blah, blah. I'm getting all this info. I went over after they were gone to talk to the cashier at the gas station. Because he had came out of the gas station and this happened. I said, hey, I don't know if you know this man or if you saw what I just saw.
Yeah.
But if you saw something, you need to let them know. I said, I called the police. This is what I said. If you might want to call and let them know. Like, I was giving her a heads up. Hey, you might come to find out he's a regular. She knows that sometimes he comes in like that.
Okay.
Supposedly he was a regular. He comes in occasionally. Like, he's not all there.
Yeah.
And I think she knew the other people that were there too. And it essentially was, the guy was just really out of it and did not want to leave. And those are people that knew him.
Okay.
And they were trying, because when he's stumbling, he's staggering down the sidewalk. He's right by the highway.
Yeah.
The highway runs right through town and he is there. Oh, there we go again.
Yep.
And he could have gotten hurt. If he stumbled, he was hanging on to the sign, falling around. If he had stumbled into traffic, he would have gotten hurt.
Yeah.
So they were coming to get him. But I didn't know that at the time.
No. But then that's just something that
Better safe than sorry.
Exactly. And it could have been, like I said, it could have been something.
What if it wasn't?
Yeah. What if it wasn't just like his friends coming to collect him and get him to a safe space? What if it wasn't that? Do you just stay quiet and hope for the best? No.
Exactly.
Because a lot of times that happens, and then we have serial killers that don't get caught forever.
Listen to your gut.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of people that once they get caught, people are like, well, I thought something was off. Come on, look at
I would rather be in that situation.
Jeffrey Dahmer. All these people were smelling things. They were seeing things, and no one said anything.
It's like up here, Robert Pickton.
Yes.
There.
Yes.
That we did, I think it was 6 parts on that, and I had to take almost a month off.
Sorry.
Afterwards. Oh, it was brutal. And
yeah.
It just enraged me more than anything. Not by what he did.
The ignorance.
There's no excusing that. It was the lack of the police department following through on people saying anything.
Yes. And sometimes, here's the other thing. If you say something and you notice it again, or you're seeing something other than, I don't have anything wrong with the police, all right? I am not one of those people. Yeah. But, however, time and time again, we have been proven that sometimes the police just suck. Or they're, like I said, they're overwhelmed. Or you're like with me, like you're in a small town. There's what, 4 people? Like to manage an entire county. Sometimes things, they get busy, they get lost, they get whatever happens. If you say something and you don't realize that it is follow up, report it again, report everything.
Be annoying if you have to be. Like,
yes. Scream it from the rooftops. Be that squeaky wheel. And this was really, especially time and time again, you have children in a situation, people, teachers, whatever that have these interactions, coaches, whatever, the neighbor, anything. If you're noticing something's happening, keep reporting it over and over. I tried to say this, I tried to say that, or I just reported it once and that's what it was.
Yeah.
And no, don't just, no. Like, until you know that something is followed up on, keep with it. Keep on going.
And like in your situation, the police would have investigated. They would have discovered that this was nothing criminal. Like, it was fine.
Remember, they reported.
Yeah.
And they said there was no correlation. They shut them down.
Yeah.
But if you're noticing, because you got to think, there's got to be some sort of coverage, especially in Gary. I don't think Gary's a very big town. And you know that things are being said. Rational. Oh, it's telling me I'm going to be late. Oh, shit. I might be late here if I don't leave soon. Thanks. Thanks for keeping my appointments. But just keep saying something, all right? Because you don't know. It's better to be safe than sorry, as we all know. You've had this happen. And just be aware. I know everybody's wrapped up in their own thing. They're listening to their music. They're doing their thing. They're busy. They're on the phone. Pay attention. Pay
To
attention.
what's going on around you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just pay attention and be vigilant.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything?
Me?
Yeah.
About this?
Anything.
Anything ever? Oh my
yes,
God.
I've got another 15 minutes before I got to put a bra and pants on and leave. So,
and human eyes.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm just rocking my merch.
We've covered cases like this and stuff. And it's this one, at least I'm glad he's caught and everything like that. But it's not an easy subject matter. Like covering this, researching this week to week, it takes a toll. Yes, the mental health thing, take care of it. Me, for the last couple months, we've been dealing with lots of health issues regarding my husband. He's got polycystic kidney disease. We've been dealing with the healthcare system, which everybody says it's amazing. It is not. It is not. One of the things we're doing is, be aware of what's going on around you, but also be aware of how you can help others, whether that be speaking out, speaking up, sharing, talking, reaching out, all those things. I'm actually doing, it's the kidney walk here in Canada, and I'll be doing that on June 8th. I've started a team. I'm raising donations that go towards the Kidney Foundation for research and things like that. That's a big thing for us.
Shameless plug. Where can they find that if they want to donate?
If they want to donate, I got to pull up the picture.
When did you say it was? Did you say it was the 8th?
June 8th is the day.
Okay, so we have plenty of time to go donate to the cause.
Yeah. You can go to tinyurl.com/PKD-warriors. And that'll take you directly to my donation page for that walk.
And if you can send me that link.
Yeah, I will definitely
and
do
I
that.
will also put it in the description. That way, if they have any questions or anything, they can either click on it. I usually make them a hyperlink. Worst case scenario, you can copy and paste it. That'll be available as well. Okay.
Yeah. And then also, one of the other things I've launched and we're working on for Getting High with True Crime is we've actually launched our merch store. It's small. There's a few designs, but you can literally put it on almost anything you can think of. Hence why I mentioned shower curtain. You can get a shower curtain with a nice little beaver on it that says, "My beaver has traveled," because we're weird like that.
I remember that.
Oh, we've got it.
It goes maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, no, you can get all our merch. It's at ghwtc.threadless.com. You can go there and you can order merch from there. Or you can email us at gettinghighwithtruecrime@gmail.com, and we can either hook you up with some stickers or tell us anything you've been through or you've experienced.
I gotta send you my stuff. I've been through some shit, man.
I know. True crime related.
I've been roofied.
Yeah, you told me about that.
I should have been dead.
Yes. Or it can be funny getting high stories or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
We would love to hear from people. We love to share that stuff. A lot of those stories we try and save and compile for one episode, but we do have our 420 episode coming right away.
Okay, so my case meter started going off, and this goes on the shelf.
On the shelf. Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's hey, look at the shelf.
I think we're actually recording that episode next week. We're going to be...
That has to do with poisoning?
No, but we have been covering lady poisoners over the last 2 episodes.
Poisoned.
We covered...
Yeah,
Yia Morano of Argentina. Her poison of choice was cyanide. to the point where there's like people saying long live cyanide in regards to her. And then we also just recorded, it hasn't been released. It comes out Monday. What's her name? Nanny Doss. And she did, she killed like 5 of her husbands.
Yep. I know that. I know that one.
Oh my God.
I know that one. Yeah.
And it's just insane. Like that one was just like, holy shit. But yeah, that one comes out on Monday. And her choice was arsenic. And she would feed it in prune pie and coffee. Were her
It
ways
goes
of
marry. Get married.
She did that a few times.
They're like, hey, apparently whatever's over here knows you.
Yeah. Yeah. That one was an interesting one to cover. We were going to do it in 2 parts, and then we ended up just recording it all in one go. And we're like, no, we're not stopping. We're just
mine, I cut it. Like, I'll just have the whole thing, and then it just stopped. I got to work on my transition. Every now and then I'm like, oh yeah, join us next week. But if I don't, sorry, because I'm pretty sure this is going to be a multi-parter because it's been a little hefty. But all right, I guess we can go ahead and wrap this up. I've got to go make an appointment for all my patrons. You can find out exactly what that appointment is. Certain tiers of the Patreon we'll find out because only one tier gets unedited video content. You'll be able to hear or see
That's
it.
been good because I've been trying not to like pick my nose or anything because I'm like, she's going to use this.
Oh, I'm constantly like adjusting and all that stuff. It's a good time. But yeah, again, everybody, Lanea from Getting High with True Crime.
Yep.
Make sure that you go show some love. Don't forget, don't just listen, share, rate, review, pass it on, all of that fun stuff. Again, she has that awesome cause. Go check it out. Links will be in the description as well. And the new merch site. Our beavers are traveling. I got to come up with something cool like that. Except for the meat pinata.
Oh my God, I still have to make that one. I love that. That was like, I laughed freaking hard. Even because when I always re-listen to the episodes after they release. And I'm at work when I listen to this. And I'm listening, and it gets to the point where you say meat pinata during that episode. And I just cackled to the point where guys stopped working on the shop floor and turned and looked at me.
Meat pinata, just to see what they say.
I had to explain it because they're like, what's funny? So then I told them.
But yeah, definitely thank you again for being on. And it goes, what is that? It's a joke. Go check it out, ghosties. But yeah, like I said, go check everything out. Again, you could check out my store as well. I'm American Red Cross is this month, and next month is the Hannah House abuse victims. That kind of thing is where I'm donating as well. Again, thank you guys all for listening. I appreciate it. Keep your ears out. We got a lot of stuff in the works. Sounds like you got a lot of stuff in the works. Make sure you subscribe to both of us so you can check it out. But until next time, everybody, we'll see you.
Stay lifted.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this episode of Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy. If you wouldn't mind, please take a moment and give the show a 5-star review wherever you're listening. I know it might not seem like much, but it greatly helps the show and allows people to find us more easily. Also, head on over to www.patreon.com/Cryptids, Creeps, and Conspiracy and subscribe to any of the tiers. Members of the Big Show tier get bonus materials, personalized shoutouts on the pod, ad-free episodes, access to the private Discord server, quarterly appreciation gifts, and a chance to be on the show. Not to mention video versions of the episode. Before you go, don't forget to click the link in the description and grab yourself or someone you know some self-designed merch by me, or make a donation to help keep the show going and fund future events and investigations. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, Threads, and TikTok. If you have any questions, topic recommendations, or personal encounters, please send them to cryptidscreepsandconspiracy@gmail.com or submit them through the contact form at www.cryptidscreepsandconspiracy.com. I would love to hear from you and share your experiences on a listener episode. Just make sure that you specify that I have permission to add your encounter to the show and let me know whether or not you would like your real name read or an alias to maintain confidentiality. Thank you guys all again so much for your support. Until next time, my friends,
See ya.